give a couple of weeks apart, maybe that does help guys. Or at least if you're going to be on the show, you're going to have something really good to be doing rather than just there to fill time. So, the thing is, 3 hours, 2 hours, look, you had guys like Samoa Joe on Raw for ages, and I felt like they didn't really do anything that much as far as progression with him. So, whether it's 3 hours or 2 hours, I think it just depends who's booking this damn thing. I think he's got a better chance on SmackDown, though, of being that dominant heel that, we kind of want him to be. And also, he's going to have a better combination of opponents, I feel, as well. So, hopefully, a big year coming for Samoa Joe as well. There's a lot of credible matches coming up for him. Okay, we've got to talk about this match called Shinsuke Nakamura. My God, I must have been sent that video about 100 times in the emails. And then, obviously, I'd sent it to you even before they even all came in. And it was just like a bog standard 2-minute interview backstage. And, it's one of those scenarios, Matt, less is more. And, he's done 2 interviews like that now. I saw an exclusive on WWE.com, and man, he just seems like his transformation. He looks so much more comfortable as a heel Shinsuke Nakamura. What do you think about it, Matt? And is this a new lease of life for Shinsuke Nakamura? And essentially, has been a bit sort of dull, for lack of a better word, because even though he won the Royal Rumble, I felt like, man, they've done nothing to get me. I just thought he would win it. I didn't see the finish coming, I'll give him that, but I just didn't see them really even getting that much behind him. Like, they were not selling it to me like this is the next guy at all. And I was a bit disappointed with the result, but then after I saw him turn heel, I thought, maybe turning heel is actually better than winning the title and being face. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, I think it's a good idea that they turned him heel. I feel like playing the face, it was getting kind of one-dimensional. It did kind of feel like, when they were giving him the mic, he wasn't really sure what to say, to get people on his side. He only sort of be himself, which wasn't really working. And when they get to that point, why not flip the switch? Why not try something different? I feel like now he's a heel. You feel like there's something more about him, and even try and get to the bottom of why he has suddenly changed like this. I like that he keeps it a bit of a mystery. He's not just going to give it all away.
Yeah.
And, I feel like we could be seeing some of his better matches as well. So he'll be fighting more face guys now, which is what pretty much people had in mind when they saw Nakamura come to WWE. They had a list of people that they'd like to see in face. People that are majority now, all faces. People like Seth, and they're not going to do it in the show. But when you think about that, and you think about people like AJ, which we haven't seen, but you didn't get more out of it by fighting AJ again. You kind of feel like there's a whole host of people, and Daniel Bryan even, is set up perfectly for that. Find someone like that, a heel versus face, just so natural.
Yeah, I mean, it should be a good, and I think keeping mystique, keep that there. Don't overexpose him too much. Keep the way they're doing it. The good thing with Nakamura is most of his time in New Japan, he did play a heel, so he's very good at that. He's not out of his comfort zone. I know a lot of people said that's shocking, the fact that he's not going to be a face, but I suppose the only hard thing will be to keep up is that entrance, Matt. I don't know if they'll probably tweak that a little bit, do you feel? Or do you think they'll change it around? Not have him so as vamped up as he normally is when he comes down? Or do you think they'll keep that about him?
Yeah, people really like that entrance though, don't they?
Yeah.
If you look back at Bobby Roode though, they haven't changed much with that. I mean, I know it kind of felt like it was a face kind of move anyway with that entrance, but I feel Nakamura should be fine. He can do that because he just comes out and just dances around, and people still buy into that. I'm not too sure whether we'll lead into the crowd too much. You can't trust the crowd these days.
Really, chair or something. Yeah, but that interview was gold. I mean, there's a few lines were very good. I liked how he was just like, I was very sorry. My emotions got the better. And he gives that cheeky wink. Very, very good. And if anything, that's foolproof, Matt. That's just the exact reason I always say, why not turn Roman doing those same things, like what a run he could have for a year. And then by the time, I guarantee you Shinsuke will be back on side, give it a couple of years. It may be less than that because he'll be cool with all this now. This is the character we've wanted to see. So a little bit more edgier, much better for me, and hopefully he can work his style a little bit differently in the ring as well. Now, being a heel, you'd expect him to be a little bit more aggressive now, Matt, in the ring. So that should be good as well. Going forward for him. Okay, we can't go through this podcast, Matt, without talking about this. Had to bring it up because we had loads of emails. Sort of old, well, it's not old news, but I guess in wrestling terms it is because things move so fast. But of course, we heard an announcement, Matt, that of course I know you're a Total Bellas fan as well in there sometimes. John Cena and Nikki Bella, the split as it's been called at the moment. Of course, all wedding off and all the rest of it. What did you make of that, Matt? Because a few people said, are they working us? Is this part of the John Cena storyline? That now he's lost his woman as long as the match and everything else, it's going to go downhill. Because who messaged me? Let me try and find this. I had an email. This is from Darren, and he put Darren from York, and he said he felt that hi guys. Really feel that WWE are doing a huge work over us, a good one for a change, where they're going to get Nikki and John to both play this role to the point where they will not even be meeting each other, and this will just be a part of John Cena failing at everything and a way of John Cena saying goodbye to the WWE as a huge send-off for next year's WrestleMania 35. What do you think, Matt? Is that a little bit too much of a conspiracy and a little bit too good that WWE... I can't see it myself, but what do you think?
Well, that's a bit extreme, isn't it? I mean, it's all been documented and told as like the issues between Nikki and John. I mean, she would love a kid and he doesn't want a kid. That's a pretty huge factor in life. And, if that is one of the reasons, then, you can't blame either one of them for, saying it's best that they part. It's obviously deeply personal. I wouldn't say that things like that should be joked about or made light of or put into a work or an angle. I feel, that, some people have felt it coming for quite a while now. So, if they were going to go with an angle like that, you'd also have to put out terrible movies, wouldn't they? But I've been into John Cena's movies lately myself. I feel like he's transitioned into a movie star quite well.
Yeah.
I just can't see him wrapping things up with WWE though, on his terms, but also, from the point of view of someone like Vince McMahon, looking at him and thinking, well, you've got that last run in you. You can break Ric Flair's record. And if anyone's going to do it, a lot of people hate John Cena, but no one has worked that hard in recent memory for WWE and done as much for them as John Cena has. So if anyone deserves to get that, it should be him.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. And yeah, I do find that whole thing would be a little bit too out there. I mean, listen, if there's ever if something comes on telly where I see John Laurinaitis coming out or something doing a promo against John Cena, then I'll be really shocked. But quite frankly, I just think this is a genuine thing. I think the difficulty for them, of course, they've asked everyone to respect privacy and all the rest of it. But of course, that it goes with the territory, Matt. When you have last year's WrestleMania and that engagement in the ring, it's and then of course they turn up on TV shows talking about it. It's just sort of the price you pay, isn't it, Matt? When you let the cameras in and have all these TV shows about you. When this kind of thing happens, it's good when it's working, but it's not so great when this situation happens. So you kind of have to just sort of live and deal with the aftermath of maybe crap. Now we've got to deal with the press, but wrestling fans will of course always find amusement out of somebody else's misery, aren't they? But there was the worst one I saw was the Dolph Ziggler one running down with the Money in the Bank. I was just like, oh god, here it is. So that's that done. But by all accounts, it's it depends who you believe or what you read, but it was all pretty much mutually agreed, and actually Nikki had quite a big say in it. So we'll see going forward, and wish them both luck for their futures, obviously. But I thought we'd better talk about that because I'll get grilled if I don't mention it on the podcast because I had loads and loads of emails. So I thought I'd get that in. Okay, Matt, we should talk, of course, about what's coming up on our podcast. Got loads of good feedback because I sent it out on our page on SoundCloud, which, by the way, really been thinking about things because our page on SoundCloud gets much more views than the Facebook page for some reason, and I think it's because SoundCloud is up there with the podcast. But yeah, I read all the forum. We've got a forum on there, and I don't always go there, but occasionally when I can fit it in, I'll read as much as I can. But everybody, Matt, was psyched at obviously hearing what the future is for the podcast. And for those of you that don't know, we sent out a little preview of some of the stuff that's coming up, and everyone is buzzing. I tell you what, I got most feedback about, Matt. You'll laugh, but it was the No Holds Barred. God, there's a real love for this film. It seems, it's maybe a nostalgic moment, a comedy. I don't know, but yeah, they said they can't wait to sort of hear us rip this to shreds. Basically, they think that we're not going to be able to keep a straight face for it, and you're probably right. To be quite honest with you. I don't think we will. So we will be. So we're going to be reviewing No Holds Barred. That's going to be coming up. Also, we put out as well. We're going to be doing the same exact thing. The only difference for this one will be that it will be a watch along with us on Beyond the Mat. It was one of the first documentary series that came out and sort of exposed the business at the late 90s. So really looking forward to getting into that. And we're going to return. We're going to revisit NXT Mat Takeover. From when we went, 3 years ago now, to NXT New York, the first big crowd NXT Takeover show. People looking forward to that. Of course, that was, the match between Bayley and Sasha that sort of blew the roof off, and certainly I would say was probably the best match, not only of that weekend, but maybe it was definitely in the top 2 of the year, I would say. That's how good that match was. So I'm really looking forward to revisiting that as well. Not only that, we've got the greatest Royal Rumble. That's what they're calling it, Matt. From Saudi Arabia, which does please a lot of our listeners because we have a lot of our listeners coming from that direction, and they'll be able to watch it at a reasonable time. And for us, we can also watch it at a reasonable time, it appears, as well. So I'm quite happy about that as well. We are going to be doing a review. That's going to go out either next Friday after the show or Saturday. So stay tuned for that. We'll be doing a full review for the greatest Royal Rumble. Also, we're going to have a special CM Punk. Yep, he's back in the UFC again. He's got Mike Johnson now. His next opponent. Should be a big night at UFC. Of course, he's not like the main event or anything like that, but we always get interest from CM Punk. We're going to have our good friend Daniel Puder coming on the show to give us his thoughts about how he thinks that's going to go. Should be an interesting fight, Matt, because his opponent, he's got the exact same record as CM Punk, and he also lost against Mickey Gall as well. So couldn't get any more even for an opponent there for CM Punk. So I really do feel, Matt, if this one doesn't work for him, that's it, surely. When you sort of go out your way that much to find an opponent who's on that much of a level as CM Punk at the moment. So that'll be interesting going into that. And, of course, going further into the future, of course, we're going to have our huge SummerSlam weekend. And even further advanced on that, of course, we are taking the podcast to WrestleMania next year in New York. We're going to have more details about that as we approach it. So lots of good things coming up on the show. Just to add in as well, back by popular demand, the Magnificent Seven title belts. We're going to be doing a special one of those as well. People have been asking that for us to do a Mag 7 for a while. So we're bringing that back. Really looking forward to doing that. And, of course, if you've got any requests for us to do a top 7, a Magnificent 7 on any themes or anything, email us in at wrestleline@gmail.com. Always happy to listen to your guys' ideas for things to do on those, because myself and Matt, we did enjoy doing those. It was quite cool doing those kind of things. So yeah, should be good. Matt, just to finish up on the show then, Matt, of course we mentioned it there on our job lot of coming out, but we've got, of course, the greatest Royal Rumble. I mean, this is becoming WrestleMania version 2 in a lot of ways, because this card is so stacked. I'm quite shocked. First of all, Matt, what was with all this craziness between Jericho, Rusev and Undertaker? I mean, 1 minute it was Rusev, then he gets taken off because of some tweet that he put out by all accounts. Then the Undertaker, I don't know if he said a good word, but we also Jericho, when he was booked back in, Jericho was kind of making claim that how he was going to beat him. What on earth is going on here with Rusev